They just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative. Regurgitating the same old every single day without the stop. Please watch the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Sorry. When things go wrong or maybe go wrong, what a bloody day I've had. Pathetic. I can't even see myself now. There's something come up there. I can't get it off, honestly. I just can't get it off. It's crazy. Oh yeah, there I am. It's come up again. Sorry about this, people. I'm just, you wake up, so you may as well to be awake, like, go, oh, wow, it's great. It's 8 time. What a day. What a day. It's just, the way things go wrong, just like now. Just now. Something went wrong before, and it's still wrong, and it might happen again. I just don't. Anyway, I'm here. I've got my great friends with me who calmed me and soothed me. I had to go out today, do something, and my granddaughter, and conversation I had with her. Yeah, no, yeah, no. I think got her a shirt the other day to told people, and she wanted it. TK on her back. I said, "Why are you getting flimpongs here?" Anyway, she went to shop. She bought the shirt, and I'm talking Liverpool football shop up at Anfield. They didn't have the letters, what she wanted. So today, she goes down to the Liverpool shop, and she didn't bring the top. And she went in and she said, "I want a TK on my back of my shirt." She said, "We'll go and get it and we'll put it out for you." So she said, "Okay." But they were going to charge you. So I had to give her mum my card because I'm buying it, you see. So I gave her my card so that she can go to the shop, and it's open till 8 o'clock. But she went ages ago. She said, "I'll pop back later." I said, "Okay." You know what I mean? My point is, you've got the Liverpool shop at Anfield, and they don't have the letters to put on what the customers want, what the fans want on the back. Pathetic. Pathetic. So I've had all that. But when I was out shopping, Sophia phones up because she went down with her mate to the shop. The mate said, I'm going home now. So her mate went home. Sophie was left on her own in town. We had to jump in the car, go down and see. So that's all the messing went through. In other words, I'm pissed. Really pissed. And listen, I can't find me reading glasses. Put them down. Can't find them. Looked everywhere. So keep the messages simple, please. Thank you. That's all. Even if Franco, I read somewhere that John Lennon wrote 2 books in his own right and The Spaniards in the Works, drawing inspiration from literary figures throughout his life. He was very intelligent. He was a great reader. He never just wrote music and played in a band. He was a great reader. He was a philosopher, in other words, John Lennon. He was an intellectual, a really good intellect. And carries on. Lennon cited Carroll's Jabberwocky as an inspiration, and his own writing style reflected Carroll's surreal and nonsensical approach. Lennon also admired James Joyce, Dylan Thomas, and the Goons. Well, there you can see his intellect. He goes from one of the greatest, James Joyce, to Dylan Thomas, to the Goons, because he had that sort of humour. But he likes a lot of other stuff. And I'll tell you that I'll bring in, because he knows a lot about him. Lennon drew inspiration from Spike Milligan and his wordplay and attacks on authority. Spike Milligan once said, "Money can't buy you happiness, but it does bring you a more pleasant form of misery." I'll bring Anthony on this because he knows a hell of a lot about Lennon and his literature. What do you think of what Simon said there? Yeah. Look at that. How coincidental is that?
Well, they're always with me. They're on the shelf along all sorts of stuff. But yeah, Simon's absolutely right. We all get our inspiration, don't we, from somewhere? And if we align right correctly, it comes out through us differently. It's not a copy and paste, which unfortunately is my pet hate with the world today. Everything from art, music, literature is copy and paste. But Lennon was inspired by wordplay, yeah, big time, and it shows in everything they did.
Yeah, it does. Even in interviews, and even when they were younger, when they flew over to America, you could see the humour out of the four of it, with the exception of Ringo. Ringo as well. But
Yeah.
George Harrison, he has a great sense of humour.
I think that's just a Scouse thing, And
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. The humour, the Yanks were very surprised, because they had always formal sort of interviews, especially with Americans.
Yeah,
You
They
know what I
did.
mean? But they brought you. Go on, sorry, Trent.
One of the famous ones, an interviewer talked to John Lennon about the first time in America. How did you find America, John? He said, I think we turned left at Greenland. Well, it's just that. The guy was, what? What?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Because humour, the British humour
yeah,
goes over the heads. Even their Scouse humour, goes over the heads of people in this country.
it does. It does.
You take everything for granted. Not granted, I'm sorry. Everything that's said, they take it as being said.
Yeah,
They miss the humour, if you know what I mean.
yeah. What you call a haircut, George? Arthur.
Exactly what you call the haircut, George. Arthur. you know, See,
Yeah,
it's a strange concoction of wordplay,
yeah,
and Scousers are brought up on wordplay. They really are.
yeah.
You had some mad sayings, as you were growing up.
And we abbreviate so much, don't we?
Yes,
In,
yeah, we
in
certainly do.
names, So
And yes, we were very polite as well. You know, I always got, there was a friend of mine, right, friend of mine, growing up with, and his mother. I found out, a few years later that she died. The mother, she's a lovely woman. I was always in the house, and you know what? I phoned up the Echo, and I said, "Listen, I'd like to put something in the paper. Those obituary things." And she said, "Yeah, what's her name?" And I said, "Mrs. Flaherty." And she said, "No, what's her first name?" I said, "Oh," and I didn't know. I just knew her by Mrs. Flaherty.
yeah,
Because when we were growing up, it was always Mr. and Mrs.
of course. Yeah,
Always Mr. and Mrs.
yeah. You
And
know,
that's how we polite and everything.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. No,
And
exactly.
good morning. Do you ever remember saying good morning? I did. Good
Yeah,
morning, Mr. or Mrs. Such a body. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, you've had a hell of a day, so don't know. Talk about Jabberwocky. Talk about
Jabberwocky.
Edward Lear and his nonsense. I did, um, I, I did like Edward Lear when I was younger, in part because of that wordplay and stuff, and possibly through the Beatles, because I mean the Beatles were our generation. But I remember reading that Edward Lear came up here to the Northwest, um, to as a teacher, to teach art and stuff to the wealthy patrons, and it always struck me as quite odd because I knew him as this um, nonsensical writer, rather like Spike Milligan, and you would think, what on earth would he teach these people? But as we've said, really, to open up, he wouldn't have been the first he got it from. Shakespeare himself had a wicked sense of humour, as did Blake, as did, you know, all of the greats down the line. Sometimes dark sense of humour, which we in Liverpool and areas like Liverpool who've been through hardship develop this dark sense of humour. That
That's right. I think it comes from different cultures as well.
yeah,
As people, migrants were coming into Liverpool, from different countries, as you know,
yeah,
and they started to melt in
yeah,
with the English. you know, the Scousers, and they became Scousers generations onwards. So
Yeah.
their blend of culture came to us, and you know, you've got a hell of a lot of different cultures, but mainly the Irish culture
The artist,
and the
yeah.
Italian culture.
Yeah.
You know, they were the main four of.
Yeah.
That's why people from Liverpool, um, they're known as being and generous, warm and generous.
Yeah.
And it comes from both cultures,
Yeah.
strange as it may be, and coincidental that is. You've got the likes of the Italians, especially the southern Italians, because the Italians that came over from Italy, 98% of them were from southern parts of
Yeah.
Italy to escape the drought. Not only to escape the drought, but I know this is a bit of a history thing, but I'm trying to say something, if you know what I mean, concrete. And after the First World War, you know, they said, well, okay, if they're not going to compensate us, which they were promised, you know, if they joined the war against against Germany and the Turks, they said, you know, we'll compensate you. There's no problem with that. So they said, okay. So lots of Italians who were fighting alongside the Allies decided to come over to England, you know, not just to England, but to America. They said, well, okay, if they're not going to give us the money, we join them. We'll go over to their countries.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. Half of my family stayed in Liverpool. They got work. There was a 6-month waiting list, and the other half, they went over to America.
Yeah.
You see? So then you get the Irish. Well, the Irish have always been here. People think that the Irish were came over in 1847 with the influx. It's called the influx of the Irish after the 1845 famine. But they've been here years before. They were dockers around the turn of the 19th century, you know, the 1800s.
Yeah.
So they were working here as well. But you did have the influx. So when they met and they lived side by side, the Italians and the Italians and the Irish, they live side by. Well, you know that because you know we come from the Scotland Road area,
That was our
and
answer.
they were joins at the hip. They intermarried one another,
Yeah.
the Irish and the Italians. Because of but the music. Think
Absolutely.
about the music, the colour, the cuisine
Yeah.
came from both sides.
All of that.
Just came from both sides.
We should explain that it wasn't music as in go to a gig every night. You know, there was no money for that.
No.
So music was in the streets,
Yes.
in the archways, in the communities. You know, dance.
No, you're so right. And don't forget the how can I say this? We had processions. I remember being a little boy, you know, making my communion and going in the procession and
Yeah.
all that stopped. And it was great. It was great tradition going around the streets. And there's a thing on Facebook, you know, where I lived, my community, where they put photographs up of like the processions, you know, years ago that we were in when we were kids, all dressed up. Then you had the May processions. No, the
Fantastic.
May processions where you see kids, little mad kids like me, getting dressed up. You know, like how can I put it? It was, you put anything on, and you just had a procession.
Yeah.
And it was around your community, and it was great. You
Yeah.
know, but all that tradition has got not like the religion traditional thing, when you made your communion. But I'm talking about after that, and you had the May procession where kids just dressed up in anything. And I don't mean your Sunday best, I mean anything. And you just had a little procession going around, and it was great. You were kids,
Yeah.
between 5 and 7 and 8 years of age, and it
Yeah.
was great. But all that seems to have gone and forgotten, unfortunately. The traditions. I don't know what I'm babbling on about, and I suppose the people looking at the
Well,
say, what's he going on about here?
the basis of what we give out to the world, whether we're writers, historians, artists, musicians, is what we grew up through. And in answer to Simon's, obviously that's what Lennon came from a Irish um, family, which was pick up an instrument, play, sing, dance, do anything, which has been the way forever, and Italian too, and all different nationalities. But that's what starts them on a journey, and the wordplay doesn't just come out of nothing. It comes out of what you read or what someone else tells you. Poetry, we've always had that um, since going back to oh, the greats of poetry in the mid 1800s and before. You've always had that daunting task from someone who comes from a fairly humble background. Can I do this? Because it seems to be the wealthier, the richer people who actively do it. But we've always had that kind of, um, again, going back to Shakespeare, he was not upper class, he wasn't middle class, he was lowly class. Keats, John Keats was lowly class, same way as you would class John Lennon. So it's like in them, they hear something and they say, "Ah, that hits me. That's what I want to do. I want to emotionally put people on to what I'm doing, whether painting or poetry or songwriting."
That's right, because it's as you're thinking, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
Like this fella behind me here, Shakespeare, when he started writing his plays, incredible,
yeah,
incredible. And his sonnets, people forget about his sonnets. And when he was writing his sonnets, he seen this lady, and he was fascinated by it. He was absolutely fascinated by it. So he started to write poetry, sonnets. He started to write them, but they were dedicated to her. Then all of a sudden, some other poet, and he was unknown or unnamed, or he was a mysterious poet, he came on the scene and he started to write to her. Then he got fed up with it, then Shakespeare stood back from it. And then, because he had a rival,
yeah,
then
uh,
he went away,
yeah,
this mysterious poet. So he started back again. Now, the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that no matter how you look at anything, whether you're writing or whatever, you've got to be inspired by something.
yes,
You have to be inspired by something.
yeah,
And that lady, there would be no sonnet only for that dark lady, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah,
And then it faded away, So we've got a sonnet. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? You know, this is how he was sounding, to this lady, to this mysterious lady, by the way. She was just known as the Dark Lady. So the likes of Keats, for example, The likes of Keats, for example, he was inspired by all this. I love, honestly, Browning. I love him.
Yeah.
And there's three of my favourite poems by him. One, Porphyria's Lover. It's the Laboratory. And also My Last Duchess. Now, he was inspired by murders.
Yeah.
He was inspired by murders. And if anyone could ever read them, they're fantastic, fantastic poems. So no matter if you're, we love Keats and the other fella, Billy Blake. We love Blake
Yeah.
and everybody else. Now there was a parish priest where I was lecturing, but I'm going back, not while I was there at the university, but he was the parish priest of St. Francis Xavier's, and he was a romantic. He was a poet, and he's in the romantic era.
Wow.
You see what I mean? And that was a parish priest.
No, that's brilliant. Well, going back to Simons, the books by John Lennon. When the Beatles at their height, fame 64, and he said, because of your humour, John, would you consider writing a book? So he didn't. It wasn't his idea to do it, but he did it, and the drawings and the can't really see on here. I bounced them to Jason one time, but he did them when he was a schoolboy. So it wasn't like Beatle John then starts writing. I think we all do it at that age because we're learning. We learn ABC, we're learning other things. I learned how to draw a bit and stuff like that, and things stay with us. And the poets, I think, what you described from that priest was absolutely the greatest thing that any teacher could do is to inspire you to
Others, yeah,
else.
absolutely. It's just like that lecturer who came in when I was at college, and I forget. I even forgot. He was only there a few weeks. Yeah, he gave me great inspiration.
Yeah,
Because he came out and said about the Iliad, Homer's Iliad, and he was fantastic, and he inspired me. That man inspired me to do what I wanted to do and go on and do it. If you know what I mean,
yeah,
teach or whatever.
yeah,
So people when they look at literature, it inspires them to. You could be a nurse.
yeah,
You could be, like as I said, a teacher. You've only got to look at Charlotte Bronte's semi-autobiography, which was Jane Eyre, and
yeah,
what Jane Eyre wanted to do.
yeah,
Well, it really what she wanted to do,
yeah,
Charlotte Bronte. She
that's,
wanted to educate the kids.
yeah,
She just wanted to educate kids because kids were starved of everything.
yeah,
There wasn't like any education. It was for the elite, don't get me wrong, it was for the elite. When they had governesses going in and teaching the little kids, as they were growing up, then they went on to university or whatever. Then it wasn't until the Forster Act of 1870 when he said, we'll open up schools, kids go to school. But it was the Mandela Act of 1880 that it was compulsory for kids to go to school. And if you look at some of the writings of, say, mothers and grandmothers coming into the 20th century, it was really basic. Coming from the working class backgrounds because they left school when they were 12 years of age.
yeah.
and they just started to learn. Now today, what you have more mature students, or what you call late developers. You have late developers who want to learn history. You've got late developers who want to learn the likes of literature. What does a book mean when you pick it up? How does it relate to today?
Yeah.
See what I mean, Anthony?
No,
So
absolutely.
everything is there, Go on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
No.
mature students, they're not just like, they're not just retired. These are people who want to go to night school, who wants to learn about the city, who wants to. I Every time, they ask me to do some local stuff, I had to do really national and international history. I really did, because you can't just like go in and say, "Oh, this happens in 1914." You can't do that and talk about the First World. You've got to have a preamble.
Yeah.
You've got to come out with the seeds of why the First World War started.
Yeah.
And you go back to 1871 with the Franco-Prussian War. That's where it started. Right through. And it was imminent. It was like the 19. This is history. I'm awfully sorry, but in 1911 we had a general strike here in Liverpool, and the government didn't want it spreading. So what they did, they asked our police to go in, and they said, "We can't go in. You know, this is going to be over. This strike is not going to go on forever. So, if we go in, battle charge them and whatever, it's going to be terrible. We won't be able to, get on with the citizens." So
Yeah.
anyway, we sent up to Liverpool 6,000 police from Birmingham and Leeds, and they also, the first Sea Lords, who was Winston Churchill at the time, he sent 2 frigates up. Now there was a point of this, playing its guns on the city. Now there was a point to this, because they knew, you didn't know, I didn't know, people where you see them on the beach, in the great summer of 1914, the heat wave, you see them all out, and they were on beaches of whatever, and just enjoying it. But little did they know that there'd been a war brewing since 1871, as I said, about the Franco-Prussian War, right through. And a war was going on, and that's why they didn't want any sort of spread, if you like,
Yes.
of, shall we say, dissidents against the government in this city by going on strike for the fabric of life.
Yeah.
So they didn't want it spreading around, because everybody went on strike in this city. The unfortunate thing was, as I said, they sent up, I forgot about it as well,
Yeah.
50,000 armored troops, because they did not want anarchy going on right through the country, because there was a war looming that no one knew about, a war with Germany. So you see, there's always something behind. As I said, I can't just go in and say, "Oh, we went to war in 1914," and what was the impact on Liverpool, if you were saying about local stuff, local history.
No.
So it's all
Well,
like that, and it's like everything else. It's I think I mentioned it last week. Like Shakespeare and Henry V, everybody thinks Henry V was this joyous, happy, lovely king. He was ruthless. He was ruthless,
yeah.
absolutely ruthless. And Shakespeare, he couldn't show him up how ruthless he was, but he did throw hints
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Henry V. He did throw in.
Yeah. It's that kind of they find a surge of adrenaline to publish works which is basically a criticism of what's going on through the higher powers, even
Yeah,
from Shakespeare to William Blake, who obviously wrote some powerful lines, and then even on to kind of our generation, where you have songwriters and authors publishing works to pop at the war in America and Vietnam. Um, it's always there in every generation. If we're lucky enough to have those who can put pen to paper, we have that kind of historic testimony of the real people. This is not what we want,
yes,
it's not what we want, you know.
yes, absolutely. And then you have the likes of Dickens, who not only, talked about he wrote about everything, Dickens, but he always brought up poverty
Yeah,
and the downtrodden of like the working classes, shall we
yeah,
say, the working classes, the downtrodden, and they were downtrodden. They
yeah,
lived in abject poverty. They lived in, well, you could imagine rat, cockroach, every day, every conceivable thing they lived amongst
yeah,
in homes, as they called homes. They were nothing better than ruins. That's what they lived in and forced to live in, by the way. Forced to live in. And that's why you get all the intellects today saying that the slave trade never ended. It's always been here.
yeah. It's always been
The
there.
slaves to the estate, to the state. You see, it's
And what?
just like. I'm sorry, I'll
No,
just get this quote out. It's just like what going back to 1794 and what the great Jean-Jacques Rousseau said: "Man is born free. However, he is everywhere in chains." That means he's chained to the state, and you can't break away from the state itself. And that's
yeah,
what applies to today. It's
yeah,
always been like from
yeah,
serfdom to, imagine, when you go and you're terrified to get the sack. There's been loads of films about, and, the fella going, "Oh, I'm out of work, something's gone wrong and we're all out of work now." They were terrified. But then you had the strength of unions. Dickens hated unions, by the way, because he said these men go around to the industrial areas and preaching about, stay strong and said, but he's taking money out of the workers who are only on a pittance. That's how he thought. Dickens. He said
yeah,
they should be going there and giving out these speeches, these wonderful speeches, for
yeah.
nothing.
Because his angle or his point, which is very valid, is because he worked. He was put in forced labour. He had to do the dirty work, the hard work, the grime. Um, so he saw the
Pay
suffering.
off a debt, his dad's debt,
Yeah,
the blackening factory.
yeah. And yet he channels all of that. Is it fair to say anger? Certainly destruction of family life. He channels all that and says things could be better, should be better, and hopefully will be better. And he put his voice to it. Which
Well, that's
is
great, that, because I think we mentioned about Sir Edmund Spencer's poem, which is that the Fairy Queen and the slaying of the dragon by, Red Cross, who was St. George, for Britomart, who was Elizabeth I. Got me. My daughter's just sent me. I want to finish this up. It's my daughter. Anyway, I've just put a thumbs up.
all good with Sophia, yeah.
So she's got she's got a Ekateke on her back, so she's absolutely delighted. She was dead sad though, she never got it. She said, "Mum, this is the main shop, isn't it?" And she said, "Yeah." And they get one delivery a week. The main shop at Anfield, and Francine said it was heaving. Don't understand them, honestly. Anyway, that's by the by. So she's got the little thing on her back. So she's made up, ready for Wembley on Sunday. And I'm going to Sicily next year.
Get away. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I've booked it because, I should be okay. I couldn't go this year simply because I was ordered by the doctor not to go.
Yeah.
Just wait, I said, "All right, okay." So we booked it today.
That's fantastic.
So I'm taking Francine and Sophia.
Go get it.
Yeah, it's just made up that I'm going, finally going to Sicilia. Brilliant. So, yeah, the Fairy Queen now, people think that, look, this is how people, Marxists, for example, they seen the slaying of the dragon as the slaying of capitalism. Right?
Yeah.
Then you see, I don't like saying this, but I have to. Then you see, like, non-Catholic, if you like. Now, this is during the Reformation, not the Marxists there. That was 20th century, if you know what I mean. Marx is saying, well, that was the slaying of the capitalism. So, but going back to the Reformation and the likes of the Fairy Queen, the slaying of the dragon, the chopper of the head, was the slaying of Catholicism. And all the black thing that came out as the head came off, it was black. It wasn't red, as in blood. It was black, and they viewed that as the black ink of the Catholic doctrine. You see, so they everything that's done at the time in literature, someone takes as a symbolic gesture.
Yeah.
You see, and use it for themselves.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Still applies now, doesn't it, today?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. This is why this fella keeps doing that. This fella was the greatest of all.
Yeah.
And when you go right up into the 20th century, now you've got the 20th century, and you have the likes of Thomas Hardy went right into the 20th century.
Yeah.
And he was an unbelievable writer. And yet, when he wrote about Tessa the D'Urbervilles, he actually fell in love with the character. He fell in love with Tess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he had to kill her off. He had to kill her off.
Because she
And where
was
did he kill her?
over
Stone.
there. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before, and it's quite a strange thing, isn't it? But they would have to, in their mind, certainly have to solidify this person they're writing about. I mean,
Yeah.
did with every single character, from the little paper boy to the the, the factory owner. So you've got to build this person, and then yeah, and we talked before about Arthur Conan Doyle and who did, and then it thought, oh whoa, this is like this character is getting bigger than me. One of us has got to go.
It's, you see, the way I see it, like yourself, unlike our chatters here, is you don't just pick up a book and read. You pick up and scrutinise it. And this is the beauty of picking up a book and turning over pages. It's,
Yeah.
do you know chapters? People don't realise that. Sorry, they might. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Um, but chapters, how they came about. A chapter,
Yeah.
right? And you're reading, and all of a sudden you come to the end of the chapter, and you can't wait to turn over the page for the next chapter. Do you know
Yeah.
how that came about?
No.
The chapters. And it only came about with Dickens, really, and his periodicals.
Oh, serialization.
Yeah, yeah. That's how it came about. You can talk about the likes of Jane Austen, but that was at a later date. They chapterized it. I didn't like Jane Austen, I'm being honest. And I shouldn't say it really, but when I was studying, history, and then I had to study literature. Now, at the same time, I'm studying hard facts of history, and I'm talking about gruesome stuff. This Francine.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing a pod. You got it early on, babe. Come here. Come here.
Do you know?
Yeah,
Am I going on camera?
have a look. Come here. It's my granddaughter.
Hi, love. Hi.
Turn around.
Oh, what a beaut.
I
Fantastic.
think you're all Liverpool supporters.
Well, I want to give a big shout out to the girl at the Liverpool shop because we went there and he says there's a 2 hour.
Say hello.
Hello. We went there and there was a 2 hour wait, so they said we're not going to print. Went over to this girl and we were talking and I was telling her about the dilemma of being in all day, and she went, "Give me 2 minutes and give because he was saying that you couldn't get a Ekatike or anything or cake or anything." There's the money you can't.
Okay. Well, do you want to just keep hold of it and come? You're coming down, aren't you?
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were coming down.
Well, I'll have to see how I'm.
Oh, okay. Just leave it.
I've
Then.
left the money there.
Okay, babe.
Is Jack his name? Is only your
Say
lad.
to that,
I
Francine.
will in a minute.
That's Andy. That's Andy, look.
Hi, Anthony. Is that it?
Artist.
Well,
Who is he?
He's artist.
yeah, he's an artist.
Did the closing name on the deal on Darby, by the way?
Oh,
I don't really want to get on it.
oh
Get on
just
it.
say.
I'll get on it.
No, love.
You're all right, Andy?
I am. Love. You?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I'm playing in Middlesbrough tomorrow. Is anyone who lives in Middlesbrough to come and see me? Right. I've got to sort loads of things out, but I'll keep you updated tomorrow if I can. I'll pop down.
Well, give me a ring later on then.
All right. Said I'm not asleep, but yeah. But it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, great. He's up for it.
We've seen nice jackets,
Yeah.
you know, at Anfield. They're nice, young for you.
Do you want one?
She was 65 quid.
Do you want one?
No, we'd rather go and see
She
a chef.
no, she wants one. Get her
We'd
one.
rather go and see a chef.
Okay.
You like the grandpa?
Ta-ra, baby.
All right,
Ta-ra, Francine.
The love of family life, the most inspirational thing on the planet.
But she was so disappointed, as I said today. She was hardly talking. Have you got her any flowers?
Sorry, I didn't know whether they had your keys or not.
Oh, okay. Have you got them now? Okay, ta-ra. There you have it. She's got a gig in Middlesbrough tomorrow.
Wow. I'm crying.
Anyway, poor Bella said hours ago, buonasera, Franco, Anthony and chat, hope you're all well. I think she said, I can't find my glasses.
We are, Bella. Hope you are too.
Absolutely. Hola a todos. Mia. Oh, are you, Mia? Are you, sweetheart? Oh. Bella says, any chance, can you read? I can't. Do you know, once I start, you know, you see me taking my glasses off because it blares out on me. Franco, I've seen a lovely poem today at Clatter. What are you doing in Clatterbury? I hope you're nothing's wrong, Bella. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly right, Bella. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't wrote it, but I've seen that myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shannon, our lovely Shannon. And he's letting on to me. Espero que estetas. I can't read. Sorry. I can't read. Hoping you're having a lovely day. I can't find my glasses. I've been looking everywhere.
Well, I don't understand the foreign side, but Simon just said, Mia, I hope you're having a lovely day.
God, I'm awfully sorry.
Just
Toscana, I've got something very special for you. I can't tell you now, though. And as I said, I had a terrible day. And I'll be posting something to you. It mightn't be tomorrow, unfortunately. I have someone coming. But you'll be made up at what I'm posting to.
all
You'll
right.
be delighted. And you'll go. You'll even shed a tear. Like, what's this year? I can't even say. I'm really straining. Buonasera, Franco, Anthony, and everyone. Hope you're all well. Looking forward to tonight's chat. Thank you. I'll have to go on.
Good.
If they're all chatting to one another, I'll have to. Johan, lovely man. Good evening, Frank, and legends in the chat. Hope everyone is well. Did that say that? I just guessed that, you know, because he usually comes out with a statement every night he comes on.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good evening, Frank and chat. Good evening, Anthony. I read today about an immersion art exhibition called Beyond Money. Is that money? Does that say money? Yeah.
Yes.
Has anyone been?
Yeah. No, not to that one, George. I was planning to go, but Frank and
I
I
love money, by the way.
really, but a little tired for where we can go and what. But they've followed that up again now with a Van Gogh one, which I did see last year, which is they're both fantastic it's where they beam their paintings on walls and ceilings and stuff, and you walk through kind of a history of their work and their life. It is wonderful. If you're a fan of their work, then you will love the show.
No, I love Monet.
Yeah.
I think he's absolutely brilliant. And he just does the open scenes, doesn't he? Really. And Simon, is it true? I can't. Is it true Liverpool's connection to Herman Melville's Moby Dick stems from the city's whaling history and Melville's own visit to Liverpool in 1849? Did I read that properly then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, did his visit to Liverpool and the fact that Liverpool were running a whaling business, did that help inspire his book?
Okay, what has happened was when he came to Liverpool, you go back to a chap by the name of Daniel Brocklebank, who came over in 1794, believe it or not, the year of the Declaration of Independence from England by America. So when he gets here, he wanted to open up a whaling place. He went to Canada first, by the way. They said, no, we've got loads of them here. You go somewhere else, fella. So anyway, he came to Liverpool and he opened a whaling place. And that's why today you've got Brocklebank Dock. He had his own dock named after him. So Brocklebank, and when Moby Dick came over, he didn't like Liverpool at all. He didn't like it. He said there's too many ruffians. And it was like, that's Melville. But yeah, you're right there, Simon. Because when he visited Liverpool, he knew about the whaling and he knew about Brocklebank, by the way, obviously a fellow American going back in time. So anyway, yes, he did come over. He did come over and he was inquiring about the whaling situation here in Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's how we got a Japanese community up by Gill Street, which is the Bull Ring today. That's where they lived. But they went back, all the Japanese. They went back.
I would love on one of our history shows one time to learn a bit more about the Japanese and also the origins of the Chinese.
Yeah, absolutely. We might do it tomorrow.
Brilliant.
Know about that?
Such a vital part of Liverpool's city and culture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mentioned cuisine before.
Yeah.
I mentioned cuisine before about when the Italians and the Irish.
Yeah.
Right. And even the Norwegians, people think that it's Irish stew, the scouse, and it's not. It's Norwegian. It was called lobscouse or lobscouse. And anyway, it stemmed from them. And it stemmed from, strange, coincidentally enough, of what Simon's just said. It was these lads, Liverpool lads, who, they knew nothing about whaling or anything, but they needed work. So, when they were shouting for their people, to go whaling, they were like, yeah, all right. They must have thought they were going to Wales.
Yeah.
Went so to the North Atlantic, catching these big things, big fishes. Anyway, they seen these lads, cooking their stuff because freezing cold weather. You're on board a leaky ship. You're on board a deck, very slippy as well. So you're freezing. So the Norwegians started to make, built a fire and started to make this, like, whatever it was, this stew. And they even threw whale meat into the stew. And they called it lopskaus. This is what they called it. Spelled Lopskause.
Yeah.
Lopskaus. And that's what the Norwegians called it. So that stemmed the Scouse dish that we're so fond of today, stems from the Norwegians. So you have all this, but you also have the Chinese.
Yes.
Think about it. And their cuisine. But we will discuss that tomorrow night. Is that okay?
That's
And why
brilliant.
the Chinese came here. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Japanese. And what happened to them.
Love it.
Bella, buonasera, Franco, Anthony, chat. Hope you're all well.
And you too.
But that's brilliant. Hang on. Let me go down, please. George said, my eyes are killing me. Oh, yeah, I've done that, haven't I? George's. I'm awfully sorry about this, people. How's your reading? I've got a terrible headache now and it's strain on my neck. With no glasses on.
Yeah.
Can you read that? Hang on, let me put it up. I'm awfully sorry. Can you read that? It's Simon, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Does Liverpool's connection to Peter Pan stem from the bronze statue in Sefton Park, designed by Sir George Frampton?
Yeah, Frampton, yeah.
George Audley donated the statue to the city, unveiled in 1928.
That's right. That's great. Yeah, thanks for that, Simon. Simply because, we had a Peter Pan here in Liverpool. Besides down in London, Piccadilly Circus, we had one here. And you're right, you're so right. It was George Audley. And he had it designed and sculpted right to the image of the one down in Piccadilly Circus. And he put it there. You've got to understand about Sefton Park and the Palm House. The Palm House was unbelievable. And it has all, like the Henry the Navigator, all these explorers that go around. And we're the only city, excuse me, this is awful, this. We're the only city in the whole of the UK to have a statue, sorry about this, to have a statue of the great Genoese Columbus. The great Genoese Columbus. We're the only city in the whole of the country to have a statue dedicated to Columbus. But you see lots of others around the Palm House itself. It's a fantastic. I don't think people realise how fantastic Liverpool is.
No.
In the history. That's why Dickens loved it here.
Yeah. And it's got so many jewels in the crown, like the Palm House, which is a truly beautiful place to go visit. We're going to go there for a cup of tea and a scone. Yeah.
Can you read that? I'm sorry. I can't read it. I wonder if Jason's in.
Simon, thank you, Simon. J.M. Barry sent a telegraph telegram to the statue's unveiling, urging Peter to behave himself and not grow bigger. He also donated all rights to Peter Pan to Great Ormond Street Hospital in 1929.
And it's still going today.
Didn't he?
That's great. Go on to me, I'm sorry.
With Great Ormond Street, because he actively campaigned for funding, and our very own legends of Liverpool, you know, George Melly campaigned for the Palm House. What goes around comes around.
Absolutely brilliant, because it just went terrible. It was vandalised, it was left, and then all of a sudden Melly said, here, what's going on? And then look what he did.
Yeah.
And then we did it up. And look at it, absolutely beautiful it is.
Absolutely.
And when you walk out, you've only got to walk around it, haven't you, Anthony?
Oh, it's beautiful. We exhibited there for a little while, but I think it was, and I'm could be showing me ignorance, I think it was Tennyson who wrote the lines, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever."
Yeah.
And that's certainly true of Sefton Park Palm House. Wow. It is a wow. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we've got,
Exactly. See, you've got all these wonderful historical figures around,
yes,
and you've got, Peter Pan. You've got Peter Pan there
yeah,
to welcome everybody, because we're all young at heart. That's what it's all about. That's what it symbolises. That's it. I think he said, don't grow any bigger. And that's what he says, behave yourself, don't grow any bigger.
well,
Because we're all young at heart. I'm sorry, go on.
that's the wonder of literature, isn't it? That
It is.
we're never too old. We never go past it.
No.
So it doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah.
Once you're moved by it, whether it be poetry or Peter Pan, which is an absolutely wonderful conception, once you're moved by it, it's there for life. So in that respect, we're all children, aren't we?
Of course we are. Of course we are. And I was like a big soft kid then when Sophia, my granddaughter, walked, she had TK on her back.
Yeah.
Because she was so miserable yesterday. She was so miserable today. And, because she never got it. So her mother rang up Liverpool once. He said, yes, we've got them. Then she went down, and as she said, I've got to give a shout out to Liverpool one of the girls who said, don't worry, we'll do it for her. And she got it. She's absolutely delighted. That's the most talkative I've seen for a couple of days. I was getting on. It was no, today. Christopher, hi Frank, and everyone, like and subscribe. I'll be waiting for your phone call, Christopher. Be waiting for you to ring because I know you're busy. Simon, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't read it after my next kit. I've got a bloody headache now.
Simon, still on the on the vein of Peter Pan. Did you know fairy dust enabling you to fly was introduced to the Peter Pan story to deter children from trying to fly from their beds or even windows following reports of accidents. So goes on now. So you're not going to fly without fairy dust. Well, we won't go anywhere without our fairy dust. Is that right, Frank?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm doing a, you know that I do a film and TV review
Yeah,
on
Saturday.
Saturdays, yeah. And there's a film, do you know what? There's a bloody fly in here somewhere. Anyway, anyway, um, there's a film called Legion, and it's about Michael, the Archangel, and Gabriel.
Oh, okay.
But one of them comes to Earth. It's a cracking film.
Is
It
this
really is a
uh,
very good film.
is this with
Legion, it's called. Sorry?
is this Keanu?
No, Keanu's not in it. It's I always forget his name, you know. English actor as well. He's a very good actor. I suppose Simon will tell us. Legion, it's really good. It really is good. And it's a good. I've
Would you
just asked Jason if there's
defo check
if
that
there's
out?
I just wish I could have a break because I'm really in pain at this. I can't read it, Anthony. I can't read, honestly. It's really straining my eyes and me. I'm getting a bloody head. Well, I've got an headache. I'm not getting it.
Turn us off for 2 minutes and go do what you need to do, Frank.
No, I don't want to leave the people.
Well,
You know, the staying with us.
everyone's with us, and they're all. Hopefully, you type in your questions, guys, and we will chatter back.
Okay, yeah, look. Yeah, look. And it's Simon. If you can read out that, it's only while I look for my glasses, I put them down somewhere. I haven't a clue where I put them because I can't read and I've got
So
this bloody headache now.
that
And
says
then chat about it, right?
dreams do come true if only we wish hard enough. You can have anything in life if you will sacrifice everything else for it. J.M. Barrie. Well, there's a kind of a logic to that. I do believe in the the dreams thing, but also there's that perceive something, have something in your head before you aim for it. You're more likely to achieve it. You know, wanting to. It's been our motto for years. You know, if we don't dream it, you're not going to achieve it. Any more like that, Simon? That would be great. I think that should be an epitaph for everyone. That really, dreams do come true. Yeah. I think it was an Americanism. I'm not sure. Could be British, but going back to the 70s, 80s, and stuff, certainly in the 90s, this perception of having a dream board on a wall or even on a fridge with pictures of the things that you want to achieve in life, whether it be a Maserati or a house or a scrambled egg and bacon butty. Normal
What's
say,
that about scrambled egg and a bacon butty? What was that?
no, just dreams. There was a thing, I don't know if it was, it kind of sounds like a hippieism, but if we have a dream board, it was that thing where you have something, a cork board or something on a wall, and you put on it the things that you aspire to in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you had
It is.
Yeah.
You know, there are some dreams that we do have, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, they're never fulfilled. I've had a few of them, never fulfilled, but they become regrets.
Yeah.
They become regrets, and I've regretted, you know, a lot of things.
I
Uh,
think
but they're dreams, you see, that could shatter. Go on.
they become regrets if we don't go for it. I
Yeah.
think if you have a dream or something you want to aim for, go to college, study to be a doctor, of literature. Um, you might not get on the course you want, as you did in your life.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
But if you didn't go for it in the first place,
I wouldn't be doing this.
no, you
I
definitely would.
wouldn't have done what I did in the past. Like,
Yeah,
I've given talks at some fantastic venues to some fantastic people. I was even saying to Francine, and she was with me. I got to kiss her.
yeah,
I got to kiss Jane Russell of all people.
yeah, yeah. I know legends
She
of
said, "I was with you to know that." And I went, I know.
music. Yeah, she was lovely. She signed the CD for me. Um,
Yeah, there you go. Diamonds are forever. What was it? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Her voice was gone down.
her voice. Yeah, yeah. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Yeah, along with Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. She sang it at the thing with David Guest. He said, "Will you come?" I said, "Yeah." Because
Yeah,
I gave a talk for him, you see.
yeah.
And I gave a talk for him at the venue that Charles Dickens became a special constable in that prize. And do
Wow,
you know who the compere was? Billy Butler. Billy was the compere.
wow.
Snapey, I can read this.
Yeah. Well, we meet people, but that all started going back to Simon's question. Is because you had a dream when you were younger.
Yeah.
You know, so
To become an archaeologist. Yeah.
on our friendship, which goes back 400 years,
Yes.
or whatever, would not have happened. That's,
No,
that's
surely would not. No.
this idea of you have a dream, go for it, go for it. Don't, I'll think about it and then I might just go for it.
Yeah. And one's just come through now, because I had to, I don't like mentioning doctors on here, because. But anyway, I phoned the doctors up and I said, "Listen," I said, "we're not going away." They said, "You'll be okay for next year." I said, "Well,"
Just,
I said,
just
"Well, what about May? Because my birthday's in May. Francine's is in May.
yeah.
And just a week after Francine's birthday is Sophia's in the June."
Oh, what a time to go!
So exactly. So we booked it for May.
That is fantastic. And also, you're not going to get mobbed because
No,
the people that go over there are reduced.
and next year, and I said this to Francine. Remember when we were talking privately, and I said for 3 or 4 days we'll go to you, I, and our lovely lady,
Yeah,
Rome, and Florence. Remember, and we'll do that next year.
yeah.
Definitely do that. And
Wow.
as Christopher says, hi Anthony.
Hi, Christopher. Good evening to you.
Johan, good evening, international artist Mr. Brown.
Good evening, our kindest.
That's it. Snapey, a soothing sentence of monologue, rather like a Shakespeare play's greetings prologue. Good evening, associates on fellow keyboards. Let's gather tonight as Frank's collector boards. And he carries on by saying, it's the lyrical spontaneity of Scousers that's been intrinsic part of Anfield for decades, generally whilst having essentially a blue-collar bass line, it never detracts from its eloquence. Lovely. I think that was a bit of Lennon there that came out there, or Shakespeare.
Well, Scousers can have what they call a telephone voice as well.
Yeah, look, I think it's what you said there, and Christopher said 20,000 American kids went to the barbers and asked for an haircut. After their George said, when he said, what's you on your hair?
What you call that haircut?
Yeah. Great that, Christopher. Cheers, mate.
Oh,
nice to see you, Anthony. Who's that strange fellow with you, says the red bird. Yes, who's that strange fellow?
Oh, behind me.
It's me he's talking about. Lynn Ellis, even a Frank and Andy up all as well with you both. Thank you, Lynn. Yes.
We hope the same of you. Thank you.
Oh, there's Karen. Good evening, Frank, Anthony, and all the lovely crew. I'm taking 2 of my grandchildren and my eldest son into Liverpool tomorrow to do a little tour, reciting your words. She laughed. I'm so excited, and so are they. I know this isn't literature, but it's still poetry in motion. But it is literature. No, what you just said is pure literature. Because you're coming out like family and you're taking them on a tour. And there's all your literature in front of you as you're talking about it.
History, inspiration.
And don't forget, Karen, you've got to show them this. And if you don't remember it, I'm going to kick your head in. It's the wonderful I'll try and come to it. Another interesting show. Love learning all these facts. I have my notebook at the ready as always. Well, here's one particular thing. Jason. Sorry, mate, I'm still out. I asked him if he was home so I could have a break. Just send that emoji. Anyway, Karen, Cafe Nero, look it up and see. Can you remember whose coach it is, Anthony? No?
Cafe, this the one on Castle Street?
Yes, and the coach at the top. Can you remember whose coach it is? Sculpted. It looks like an onion, but you see the wheels. Well, it's Cinderella's coach.
That is one beautiful building, that though.
It is. It's fun. I love talking about it.
I remember
unusual roofs.
A bank building. I don't know what it was before then, but yeah.
I'm so inspired by the passion from these pods. Never stop, Frank and Anthony, says our lovely Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Well, you're the same. And we'll be so pleased to hear what your day was like tomorrow.
Yeah, be good. One.
Yes, George, the little one in the corner, a pencil drawing. The guy on the easel is another guitar player called Charlie Christian, which is nowhere near finished yet, but You're seeing them all first.
Is that, are you answering George Seth there, yeah?
Yes,
Django Reinhardt.
yeah. He's the pencil drawing over in the corner.
But you see, I was observant there.
Yes,
They're looking beyond you.
yeah. That's why I've hid all my flowery frocks. No disrespect to anyone who likes flowery frocks. But
Well, I had my pajamas on today. And anyway, they came down, and I said, I'm just going to get changed. And Sophia said, "Are they yet?" I said, "No, we put pajamas." Because I just, plain ones.
yeah,
She thought that they were great trousers. I said, "No, they're my pajamas." Yeah, okay. Wales War One was a family argument, says it was. It was a big royal family argument. Get in there. And it was between here, the Germans, and the Russians, and the others got involved then, the Belgique and the Swedes, but they were all there. Well, not Belgique, but the Swedes, they were neutral. They were okay. So it was a big family argument. You're so right, historically right. Good man, Christopher.
yeah.
The standards of literacy right across the demographic is at an all-time low in the modern day. The tragedy is there's people who are euphoric in their ignorance. That's the truth. You are so right. They are being euphoric, but they haven't a clue why they're being euphoric. They think that they're euphoric they think they're being right. And they're wrong. They're all so wrong. They're so wrong. You've got to know the lead up. You've got to know the backgrounds of these people. Even political leaders, you've got to know the backgrounds of these people. Well done, Snapey. And well done, Christopher. Love that. So the Brontes came from an Irish background and their surname was originally Bronte.
Yeah.
Patrick Bronte, Charlotte, Emily, and Anne's father was from a poor, illiterate Irish family. Bang on. This is the beauty of it. Simply because that's what Charlotte wanted to do. She wanted to teach the kids that she never had.
Yeah.
She wanted them. Oh, brilliant. Go on, Anthony.
Well, just the father didn't want to burden them with what he sort of working class background, so he changed the name to the Bronte that we knew.
Do you know where he took the name from?
Yeah, he changed it from Bronte.
Yeah, but you know where he got the Bronte from?
Yeah, thing. But when he was a clergyman, of course, and when he started mixing in the circles, that would take him to what he thought maybe a finer respectability, and of course his wife was a slightly elevated class, but it worked, and all of the children, because the son too, there was 2 daughters who died early on, and then the 3 girls and their brother, who was an artist, and yeah, and they all wanted to put out something to bridge that gap.
They wanted to leave a legacy, didn't they, really?
They wanted to leave a legacy and also to inspire others.
Yeah, of course.
Life
that was the legacy, and I should have just...
Life is tough, but it doesn't have to be tough all the time, you know. No. the way Dickens did, and the way Shakespeare did, and the way Blake did.
Well, I'll tell you where he got the name Bronte. From Bronte. And it was from Italy.
Yeah,
And Nelson,
that's
the
right.
greatest admiral,
Yeah.
Bronte.
See, these
Napoli,
Italians.
Napoli it is, Bronte. How about that? See how it connects. Literature, history connects.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Horatio Nelson.
Simon says, Patrick chose the name Bronte after the Brit. I didn't even see that. The first Duke of Bronte. Yeah, it's a place in Italy, just by Napoli. There you go. And so you know about that. Well done, Simon. You know, you're doing well. And Christopher says, the Harry Potter, a fucking fly. I hate flies, you know. So they ever tell you about, when we were 21?
Yeah.
We used to go down to a pub, and there was this big lad, bigger than us, you know. And he had the flu.
Wow.
He was the barman. Smashing lads. He always used to say, you lads. Big giant he was. And anyway, he had the flu. And we said, you're all right, you know. Chatting. He said, I don't feel too good, or whatever. So the follow-up, we always went in. Every Saturday night we went in. Or Friday night. No, that's right, Friday night, because we always took like girls out, you know, if you had a date, that is. And Friday night, but anyway, used to go in every Saturday, Friday. And he wasn't in this week, but no one mentions anything. Oh, he's got the flu, isn't he? He's got the flu, you know what I mean? And he's off, must be off. And the following week we goes in, and we said, I forget his name, I'm sorry. Where's, say like Big Jack? He died. He caught pneumonia.
COVID.
He caught pneumonia.
Yeah.
21 years of age. Big lad. The Harry Potter books got a generation reading. Again, it was only when the movies came out, the next generation stopped reading. That's right, you know, they don't bloody read. Do you know when they leave school? They have to read in school, but when they leave school and you know, if they go to college, they just drop out and that's it. They stop reading.
Yeah.
And it's with today's technology, they're on the phone.
No, I think technology has destroyed a lot. I think it's also you've got to grow up with books, as you did through your mum and family and stuff. You've got to grow up, and there's a book on the table and pick it up, and you know.
Brilliant. And Simon says prejudices. It is well known as most difficult to eradicate from the heart, whose soil has never been loosened or fertilized. They grow firm there, firm as weeds among stones. Charlotte Bronte.
Yeah.
What was he doing outside? You're good. You're all fucking good, honest. I love these people. I do, you know. And you know that, don't you? You know that I love
Yeah.
these wonderful chatters. I'm less than half an hour away from the Bronte parsonage and never been. I'll have to put that right, says Oscar. I used to take my students up there to Howard.
The tragedy with Brontes, of course, is that they never lived to a middle age or an old age. They all passed in their 30s, didn't they? They were only young people when they went.
Yeah.
Including the mother, who I think was 32, 33.
It just shows you, doesn't it? You know, the likes of, you know, as we grow up. Now, I grew up in a household, Anthony, and there was, luckily enough for me, not that I could play a note even today, there was a piano there.
Yeah.
And, you know, they just played constantly, honestly. You know, you used to just be sitting there, you know, like a little dog, listening to all this. I listened to Ness and Dormy.
Yeah.
Ness and Dormy on there. And when, like Puccini, he actually wrote this thing. And when it came out on Italian 90, my mates, you know, the same mates who went like that, you know, when I said I'm going to see Macbeth and bring him along then. Where is he? When I went to where's that fella? Mac, he said, Macbeth. I said, where is he? Thought you were bringing him. I said, I'll let him in there. He didn't want to come. And these are the same bunch, right? And anyway, we're having a day, and we were watching a match on the telly. And he said, oh, great song that, isn't it? You know, it's catchy. And I said, yeah. He said, is that big fella, you know, who sings it? Because they see the picture of him. They never seen him singing, they just seen a picture of Pavarotti. And I said, no. I said, a fella named Puccini, you know. Well, who's he then? I said, oh, you're great everything, you know. Great composer. And I said, he wrote that in the 1890s. He said, that's modern.
It is. We attach things to present day with literature, poems, songs. We attach it to what we're watching now, like an advert for jeans. Use something in this.
It's true, isn't it? Though, you know, they do attach everything. If they see it, they attach it to today. They attach it, honestly. But Macbeth is the greatest ever. I mean, bring him along. I said, I'll see you later. I'm going to see Macbeth. That's all right. Bring him along. I'll see you. I said, yeah, okay. I'll see you later. And I went to the Empire because that's where it was being played, Macbeth. And when I went along,
yeah.
Right, where's that Mac fella? I thought he was good. Is he here with you? I said, no. I said, Macbeth. He said, is that, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you should have brought him, you know. I said, no, he didn't want to come. You know.
Could have put him.
Isn't that the classic of all classics? Bring him along. Where is he? Toscana says, wow, La Sicilia. What a great trip that'll be. I've always wanted to go. Never been to Sicily. Never.
Wow.
Never been there.
Wow.
And believe it or not, it's always been an ambition, but I've always gone to the mainland. Could have gone a couple of times, like, but some things, some regrets. Great shirt, says Toscana. That's for our Sophia.
Yeah.
Lee Johnson, ILA. Good evening, Frank. Good evening, Lee. Good evening, mate. Good evening, Lee. And Bernard Cornwell says, Christopher, author of Sharp, said it was more difficult to kill off and replace an evil character than the love interest of Sharp. You know, Jake, Jake Abraham, you know, passed on,
Yeah.
you know, my old mate. But he was in Sharp. And he said that Sean Bean was a great fella.
Yeah.
And you'll never guess where he filmed it. You'll never guess. Shall I tell you where he filmed it? Russia.
Wow.
He filmed it in Russia because of the open spaces.
Wow.
And when you're at the French, they were all Russian.
Wow.
You know, like that. But they were made up because they were getting a few bob, you know, as extras.
You know what? I Drew auditioned and got a part in that in the early series,
Go
and he
on.
was telling me about it, and he was laughing as he told me. He said, "So I went for this interview, and it was a bit heavy, it was a bit stiff." And I had a guy behind the desk, and he was saying, "You can't ride a horse, can't you, Drew?" And Drew said, "Yeah." And he looked at me and said, "How many horses have you seen rolling around Kirby?" And I said, "Not many." He said, "Well, I didn't tell him that. I just," and he got it. He got the part. Yeah, he said the same. He said Sean Bean was a nice guy.
He was, honestly, you know, according to it. Well, I seen him, didn't I? I did a bit of a recon.
Yeah,
For, you know, a church for that. Was a priest. Was it called priest?
that's
Anyway,
right.
I did the recon with Sean Bean in it.
Yeah, that was based on.
Well, I don't know, with a big Yorkshire accent. You know, that was a Yorkshire accent.
No, you kind of like that, really, and you know, I like that you keep that part of you, you know.
I think you'd have to because
Michael Caine did the same thing, didn't he? In movies, when he started out, and someone said to him, "You gotta bury that accent," and so he made a point of not burying the accent, and then he would use his Cockney accent all the time, you know, even in Ivanhoe and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, well, you know about me, I'd rather not go into it about when I was told to lose my accent immediately. Anyway, you know about that. But going back to what Drew and the horse and that, when I was doing something, the director said to me, and now imagine this. I'm talking about, I've got this aristocrat with me. I'm talking about the 1605 gunpowder plot. I'm on camera before it, you know, before they start rolling. And these two big horses, these two women bring, you know, they've got all the gear on them, you know, like to ride. And they bring these two big horses, big animals, the horses. And they said, the director come over to me and said, we'd like you to ride the horse. And I went, honestly, I did say this, you know, what we say. You having a laugh? Me, you know, I said, I've got a suit and tie on.
did you get that on camera? You have,
He said, we put wellies on you. I said, I don't want to get under you. I said, I've never, ever got on a horse in my life. I said, I grew up playing football and acting daft and going out for a couple of beers. I said, I've never been on a horse. I said, you don't see many, just like Drew saying to you, you don't see many horses here around Kirby. I said, you don't see many, I've never seen many horses around where I live.
no, only Carter's horses.
Yeah, that's right, the Shire horses.
Yeah, no,
You know, I said, I can't ride that. And don't forget as well, at the time, you know, just being diagnosed, well, a few years before, with me broken neck. And they said, don't do any, you know, serious work. I said, no, I won't. You know. Karen says, how proud you are of your girls. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much.
Ah,
The evening, Anthony. I hope you are both well, says Lee Johnson.
evening, Lee. We are. I hope you are too. Yeah. Bed.
And I'm glad your granddaughter loves new chef, right? Oh, yeah. She does, Johan. Honestly, she loves Ekatike. I said to her, why did you, why Ekatike? Because she wants a frimpong. And where she was sitting in the stand the other day at the charity match, and you know, the pre-season game against Athletic Club Bilbao. That's Bilbao. She said, he ran and waved. I said, oh, did he wave to you? She said,
Yeah.
he must have just been waving to everyone.
Like a royal wave.
Exactly. So she's got Ekatike. Crazy. Wow, Bella, love those words, says Karen Kariaka. Bellissime Nepoti. That's what she means. They're beautiful, you know, my things. Nepoti.
Yeah. Because yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Karen. Was the character of Heathcliff in Mother and Knights inspired by a young orphan found in Liverpool? Yes. Yeah, by the dad. And he was actually brought back. He was a little orphan kid. Well done, Simon. Well done. Because he went to Liverpool, he was going around and he's seeing this little kid, little street urchin. And he felt so sorry for him and he brought him home. But you're so right in real life. See, you never went to adopt kids then because, albeit that they was orphanages, you know, kids just stayed feral, more or less feral. I'm awfully sorry about this, aren't I? You know, I get these, it's terrible, you know, these itches, Anthony. You know, here, no, me not sure. It's terrible.
Yeah. You get the same thing. It's a sinus issue, I think.
I don't know what it is in here.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it might be dust or something. I hope that bloody fly doesn't go into my bedroom. I hate them. Ever since that lad. Because that lad, there was another lad who in Spain, I think it was it Spain? A fly went into his thing, his drink. And anyway, he was swimming around, you know, and for ages. And anyway, he just, and he just threw it out. Drank the beer, ended up dead because that fly, whatever it was, had out on it. It went through his bloodstream, killed him.
Wow.
You know, a week or so later. That's why I hate them. Dirty, horrible things there. And they don't talk back. When you tell them to F off, you know, they don't understand English. Ambidextrous. Hi, Frank, Anthony, and all the chat. Hope you're all well. That lovely.
Oh, good.
I'm going to go right down here. I hope you don't mind, Anthony. I'm going to go right down. These are 15 watching, only 8 likes. Come on, peeps. Hit the like for Anthony and his sidekick, Frank.
For two geriatrics.
Yeah.
The odd cup.
I'll tell you what, if he was a serious for me when I went to get that talk at the liner, and your lady in the middle of walking us down, she was a bit like geriatrics.
By May, we'll be dancing across the M6.
Exactly. There you go. And the red bird says, off topic, Isak has handed in a transfer. Has he done it? Finally, he's got to, hasn't he? That's it, because Eddie Howe has him in late this afternoon.
Yeah.
And he did. He handed it in.
Wow.
Do you know what I might do tomorrow night, Anthony?
Yeah.
I'm going to do some football for the first hour, and then the history, the ordinary history show at 8 o'clock. Is that all right with you?
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's great.
I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd agree, because I want to talk about this, you see.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
should.
Because we can't let our history go, can we?
Well, yeah.
No, we can't. And George said, Frank, may I request you cover the tragedy of the sinking of the Andorra? Yeah, I'll do that. Can I do it next week? Because we've already got something on for tomorrow. Is that all right with you? Definitely the Andorra. It was terrible, the Andorra. That was shocking. Great. Do it next week if you don't mind. And thank you for putting us in big caps. Thank you.
What?
I wish you was doing that before people. I couldn't see. I had to say, see how important like distant glasses are and reading. Yeah, George, I'll do that, mate. I'll definitely do that. That's a fantastic topic. Even Simon would love it. And everyone would love it, especially our Italian girls. Christopher, every palm tree in America is originally from La Gomera in the Canary Islands. Columbus landed there and took them to America. Fun fact. No, you're right, Christopher. It's like people think that. Let's come back to history. Do you know horses? Horses were never in America. And it was the Europeans who brought them over at a later stage to get them out. I'm definitely. I'm going to do something. Shall it be for Friday? Or it might even be for Saturday. I'm going to take photo shots of what I've seen in the test. And I'm going to give them to Jason so I can put them up on the screen. You won't believe it. What these, people talking to. I'm talking about Americans.
Yeah. For an example, why do Brits speak our American language? Why don't they speak European? Because that's where they live, isn't it? In Europe. Honestly, I'll show you. I'll get it up and show you. I'm going to save them. I was showing Francine today. She said, Dad,
That's shocking. No, I'm late. Mia. Is she nice, Mia? She's a little football fan. And she's only. I love that. I really love that, you know. Mia says, oh yeah, Darwin Nunes to Al Hilal. Here we go. Verbal agreement has been completed between all parties. 53 million plus add-ons to Liverpool as revealed today. 3-year deal for Nunes. Nunes said yes. He'll be on a hell of a wage. If he would have stayed another year, I wouldn't have bothered, to be honest. He gives it 100%. Christopher said, Frank, don't worry about reading the comments. Don't strain your eyes. I've got these on now. Mia says, Christopher, why are you shouting? Because he's got the big cats.
Yeah.
And Callum's here. Mia, Frank can't see very well. Just say it as it is, Callum. Just say it as it is. God. I've got to go to Aussie next week. I don't know where I've got to go next week. Next Tuesday for my eyes. For my eyes. Johan. Love this fella. Paul Bettany plays Archangel Michael in Legion. Paul Bettany. I couldn't think of his name. Johan. Other cast members include Tyrese Gibson. Yeah, that's right. The big lad. Willa Holland and Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, yeah.
Willa Holland's. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen Legion, Anthony? The film?
Not sure if you have, Frank.
Watch it. What? Now, if you're one as well,
yeah,
must be good. It is. It's very good. It's an unusual story. It really is. It's very good. I bet you didn't watch 5 Feet Apart, did you?
I've got it up. I found it.
Did you find it?
There's not been a night where we sat down and watched anything. Well, you know me, I'll fall asleep. I'd fall off.
What, ladies and gentlemen? I said to Anthony, I'll give you a ring after the show tonight. So he said, okay, Frank. So Frank had something to read because I don't want to eat before, like I do this. He says, okay, and he knows this. So I said, anyway, I said, I'll give him a ring at 10 o'clock, make sure that he's okay. Rang him. No answer. Rang him again later on, give him an half an hour. No answer. So what had happened after the show, he decided to just sit back.
Fall asleep.
And have a couple of scotches, as you do. You know, and then
I've been for days. I'm going back to what we talked about before with Jay and Barry and dreaming. That's where I was.
Yeah. Our lovely Mia says, oh, sorry, I didn't know. I get told off when no, don't use, use them because the likes of the Redbird and Christopher there then, you know. And the Anfield Road, they put big caps on because
we wouldn't tell you off. Anyone?
Love you for it. Me, who play? Says Cat. There's our little bouncer. He's our bouncer as Callum. By you throw me off. Simon says Eleanor Rigby explores the themes of loneliness, isolation, and the search for meaning in life. George Melly put it best, saying Eleanor Rigby seemed to be written out of their experiences in Liverpool.
Well, yeah, the Catholic upbringing, the Father Mackenzie, the priest. It was a Paul McCartney who wrote that solely and then brought it in and bounced it. Incidentally, today in history is 59 years since the Revolver album was released. Klaus Forman put up a post. That is the greatest album artwork, I think, ever. And that track was on it. Yeah, they wrote a lot about the Liverpool life, and life was a fantastic one. And McCartney later wrote Penny Lane, and as a return, Lennon wrote Strawberry Fields, all connected. They're growing up in the city. Yeah.
Tommy Steele, created a bronze statue of Eleanor Rigby, which was unveiled in Liverpool. The statue is a tribute to all the lonely people.
Yeah.
When I did my DVD, I actually said, about you see me sitting next to the statue, Eleanor. And I told them what's inside it. And one of them, and it was McCartney's idea and Lennon's, they were just chatting, sitting around and whatever, to put a 4-leaf clover in, Irish clover. Do you know what?
Well,
and he also put a football sock in, blue and white and red and white, to represent the two football clubs.
Yeah. Well, McCartney's dad was an Evertonian, born in Everton and supported Everton. But none of the other lads did football, really.
No.
Not even Macca.
No, they didn't. Do you know, I got a phone call off a fella in New York.
Yeah.
And he was the nephew of Mark Spitz. Do you ever remember the Olympic swimmer, the big American?
Yes.
He won 7 gold medals. Mark Spitz, the swimmer. And anyway, he said to me, he says, "Hi, Frank." I said, "Who are you?" Radio Merseyside, I gave him my number. So anyway, he, excuse me. He said, "We want to know." He said, "I'm doing something on the Beatles, about the Beatles." I said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "Well, we want to know about Paul McCartney's dad or granddad." No, granddad. I said, "Yeah." And where did he live? Where did he originate from? And as you said there, he was born in Everton. He was actually born and bred in a place, and it's still there today, but new homes, Solver Street. Off Scotland Road, you had Richmond Row, and it went right up towards Solver Street. And his granddad, this is me telling him, and he said, "Did he ever play an instrument?" I said, "Yeah," because what was there next to Solver Street was a very small park. I said, "But we called it a holly." and all there was a little bandstand, and every Sunday, him and his friends who lived around on Solver Street and a couple of other streets as well,
Yeah.
went over to the little bandstand, and they had instruments,
Played music.
played
Yeah.
music, and I said, Mr. McCartney, he played the clarinet.
It's what we were talking about before about the Italian and the Irish. They brought that sense of, because all the Beatles came from Irish roots. They all had Irish in them. Ringo, George, John, and all of them. And there's that thing about just expression, singing.
Hence, the Irish clover inside the
Yeah,
inside the statue of Eleanor Rigby.
there you go.
Incredible.
There you go.
People think that it's trivia, and it's not trivia. It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
So you're right, all the lonely people. You're right there, son.
Mecca, yeah, and Father Mackenzie.
But if you ever watch me DVD, they were actually looking at a gravestone in St. John's, down in Egbert. Excuse me. And he said, that's, you hear me talking about, I was actually in the Senate, and we looked at this, I forget the name of this, and they're looking at it, he said, no, we can't say it, that's it. So he came across Eleanor Rigby, and that's how they got it. That's a beautiful name, isn't it? Eleanor Rigby.
You said, well, yeah, because, John was living in Menlove then, so it's like 2 minutes, isn't it, from his house. But, various interviews say McCartney said he didn't see any name on a gravestone. It just came to him as in, yourself, you're a poet and a writer. A name fits timing within a line, but then obviously we see things and don't necessarily store them, but because our brain sees like something like 2 million things a day, and then somewhere in the future, bing, a name pings up. So we must have seen it in the graveyard, because the grave is still there. Peter's.
It's still there. There is. Oh, the red bird says, caps for Frank, help the ancient man's eyes. We're going back to Melville and Moby Dick there, and 1840s, we're going back to Shakespeare.
Yeah.
God blimey, at least in the ancient man's eyes. That's okay. I feel ancient sometimes. Amir says, not the stream column. I didn't know you can use them here, so that's good. I sometimes forgot. Caps lock is on. Yes, they are. Yeah. It's not like using your phone. Amir says, not this stream column. Oh, yes. Amir. No, that's on 400k a week. Oh, my God.
I could live with half of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind one of the apprentices' wages for a week. I'm not 400 grand.
Oh.
good luck to him anyway. That's what I say about Darwin. Simon, the statue contains hidden items with its bronze and eventually a page from the bar, a clover leaf, a sonnet. Steele's fee was just 3p, referencing his musical half a sixpence. Yet that's all. No, he just wanted to do it. No one saw it. He wanted to do it himself. Because he actually sailed from Liverpool when he was a sailor. And he liked the Liverpool people. Right there, Simon, mate. Oops, I forgot the caps, says the red bit. He started it. He started it. He said, oops, I forgot the caps. Yeah. I was Nunes on 400 grand a week. How can you be so bad and get rewarded? I know, it's just crazy. Mia, just crazy. And the Redbird says, and he's spot on, Mia, Darwin got us more money than Trent. Let that sink in. He's so right. Redbird, I said hello in another stream, and you ignored me. They are say they go to other streams, say. They leave poor Frank. The lads with the bad eyesight and ancient.
Different gangs.
Bella Italia. Buonanotte, Frankie, Franco, and Anthony, and thank you both again. Great night again. Sorry to leave so early. Just so tired tonight. Oh, Bella, thank you.
Rest up.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I mean that. You know what's in it, anyway. And the Redbird says, Mia, I humbly apologise. I must have popped off chat for a couple of minutes and missed your chat. Yeah, see. They're all on their other chats. And as young Mia says, bye-bye, Bella. I regret not staying on Tuesday when I was 11 years old. I kept telling parents I was going to work in Florida. I should have been working in Pompeii. Digging
Beautiful.
the fellow students are. Do you know what? No, like being I was very lucky, really. I was very lucky, as you said. And they're one of the most, in archaeology, I always wanted to be an archaeologist.
Yeah.
But I ended up doing what I was doing. After taking a year out, that turns out to be 12. And they didn't do the thing when I went back.
Yeah.
Archaeology, the Roman that is. They wanted me to do Egyptology, and I said, no, I don't want to do that. Redbird's apology accepted, says the wonderful me. We're going over there next year, aren't we? Anthony to Florence. We'll be there. Toscana. Buonanotte, Balotelli. Skylar has been learning about Queen Elizabeth in school, says the vlogs that she knows. But I haven't got us with me. I wasn't just saying it, I showed the teacher. The red bear said, breaking news, Andy has come out of the closet. Andy nearly choked on a scotch then. So scared to the red bear. Oh my God, I can't get it out of my head now. And Callum says, well, I thought you meant the footballer. No. That's the other answer, not our Anthony, by the way, who's sitting there. Christopher. No worries, Mia. Just helping Frank, but you are correct. Using caps is considered shouting in text. That's right. That's right. That's right. Now, it's no good. It's good to know why they are being used. I didn't know about eyesight. Just some streams get weird and don't allow it for some reason. No, the thing is, with me, Mia, and I know that you're a lovely little person and you just joined us. What it is that I went and got new glasses, you know. I went up to Specsavers, they done all these tests, you know, as they do to make sure that you're okay. And they found that I had cataracts. Surprised me. And anyway, they do go worse, unfortunately. Because what was happening to me, wonderful Stephen Snape, who comes on, he used to put big long words on, and sometimes I had to have a guess what the words was because letters disappeared on me.
Yeah.
Letters, even now, you know, letters disappear. But hopefully next week, or you know, in the not too distant future, I'll be getting that'll be getting remedied, fixed for. Hopefully. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. I hate flies, says me. That's why I haven't killed the spider in the corner of my bedroom, because he will eat them. Did you know, I don't know whether it's a rumour or if it's true, me. But when you're asleep, and then, you know, you could have a camera on you, and all of a sudden you could be like, that means you're eating a spider. Comes down.
So we're both eating money spiders when we're
No,
asleep, and that's why we've got no money.
that's it.
Okay. Well, now we know what to do. What?
Do you know what? It was funny, you know, when I was married, I heard a big scream upstairs. I shot upstairs. What's the matter? She went, there's a big spider. And I went, where? She said, in there. And it was a cupboard, you know, built in. It was already built in. It was a new house. And she said, it's the size of a mouse. I said, I'll behave. So, brave me, opened the thing like that. I was in the corner. I went, fuck. She said, kill it. I went, I won't you kill it. I went next door to the I looked. I said, could you do me a favor? I said, are you scared of spiders? And he looks at me like that. He went, why are you? And I went, not really. I said, but this is a big thing.
Not really.
Honest. I should, as I was writing the memoirs, you know, and I put this in. And the fella came in and he you know, like a disdain look, you know, like that, the pair of us. Like, he
Yeah.
said, where is it? You know, the shoulders going, and I went, where is it? You know. I said, it's in there. And he said, whereabouts, you know? I said, to be honest, I said, it's on the floor, believe it or not. It's not upstairs. So we opened, honest to God, he opens it. And he went, and he was looking, he said, I can't see it. And all of a sudden, he must have seen a tin corner of his eye move up there. And he looked and he went, fuck! What's the top that out? He phoned his brother up. He phoned his brother up. You know, he likes spiders. I said, all right, mate. You know, he said, no, he goes, our kids. So he was a bit, he came down and he caught it. And he caught it. Do you know what he brought up? Do you ever remember kids, when we were kids? And we used to go to the beach with buckets, you know, to put wet sand in and build sandcastles. He came in with one of them. And like a form of a, you know, like a spatula, you know, today. And he went and he got it. He got it. Put it out. He said, it's all right. Never kill these, he said. These are brilliant. And he honestly said, I said, where are you going to put it? He said, I'll put it in our kid's house. He said, where you fuck put it in my house? He said, you fuck off. He said, bring it out to your own house.
Oh my God.
Could you believe that?
Yeah, I could. In Liverpool, yeah, I could.
Wow.
Because anywhere else in the world, someone would throw a hand grenade in. And then
honest. It was fucking big though, you know. I'm sure it didn't come from here. You know, it's big. It's like big. Honestly.
You come off that banana boat.
It could have been like that time in Queen Square. We'll do that. But that was hairy, that one, that fucking thing.
God.
So well done, mate. Bringing up that spiders eat them. Toscana. Franco, there's a town near Mount Etna called Bronte. It's part of Catania. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's down the bottom, Catania, isn't it? We'll be seeing the likes of that, you know. We'll be going over Toscana there to the Etna. Got to, haven't you? Yeah. It's like Vesuvius. I went to the same one of us, you know. Oh, she was great, Julie. We were walking up Vesuvius, right? As you do. And there was a nun sitting on a bench. And I said, I can't go any further, Julie. She said, I'm going. I said, well, all right then. And I sat next to the you know, the nun. And they all went up. And when they all came down, and she was in all the middle of the nuns, because there was a group of nuns who went up to, you know, the top. Yeah. And me and her was just sitting there, me and this other nun. Oh, it's just good, you know what I mean? Brilliant. Great experiences. Found out today the history of 55 Sears Street, founded in 1850 by Mother Teresa, the missionaries of the Charity Convent, which helps homeless people, visited in 1979 and before her death in 1997. Yeah. Yeah, I think when Pope John II, he came over in 85, I think, 85. He came, or 84 or 85, and he knew about all that, you see. Well, it was for the homeless. The very first Echo office was there as well. I think next to the same building. Not quite so sure. Mia, yes, you're right. They won't allow caps. What if a subscriber has poor eyesight and needs to use caps to help them? They probably will still ban them. It's all about super chat and stickers, says the Redbird. And you're right, I don't want anything at all of anybody. And I think it's wrong to ask. I'm being honest. Mia, the Redbird. That's so true. I used to watch some channels, but they only read out the coloured chats, the membership ones, or super chats to fudge them. I charge nothing, Mia, and all comments, are read. Well, most of them, I couldn't do them really at the beginning because of this. Father James Nugent, a pioneer of social work, helping the poor and vulnerable in Liverpool, particularly children, established the Nugent Care Charity and the Ragged Schools. Well, Father Nugent, where I was born and grew up, say like that's one street there. Father Nugent was there, right next to it. And you see a statue of him in St. John's Gardens, Father Nugent, along with Major Lester, because what they did, the pair of them, they bought a frigate of the Navy and they put it in the Mersey so that young kids could at least get a trade as able seamen. And that's what they did. Great man, Father Nugent.
Yeah, was.
He was born in Hunter Street, Liverpool, right next to where I was born and grew up. Pete Postlethwaite was wonderful and sharp, says Chris. He was. Did you know that Pete Postlethwaite, he wouldn't change his name. He says anyone who's born with the name should use it. Don't be changing it. And he was Steven Spielberg's favourite actor.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg's favourite actor. Come on, Frank. You really can't be spooked by a fly. It's not that. It's just horrible. I don't like them. Karen. See, fly. Still the emoji of a fly. I can't do YouTube. I have just tried. I'm on Facebook, hitting thumbs up and hearts on us. Oh. That's why you can't do YouTube. It's bad, that. Awesome idea, George said. And Carol said, can we do Braille for Frank? And something for my memory. Carol says, I didn't know that about the statue. No, I meant these fucking things. Wow, she says. Guys, it's been a cracking night, says Simon once again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Simon, for your input. It's been brilliant.
Everyone. I will leave you with a few jokes. Joke one. I met this man at the airport and I asked him if he'd like to share a taxi with me. He said he would. I said, you take the engine and I'll take the wheels. Joke two. I said to the chemist, can I have some sleeping pills for the wife? He said, why? I said, she keeps waking up. That's terrible. George says, by the time this message come through, I shall have departed the group. Early start as usual. So good night, Frank Anthony, and everyone. Until the, isn't that lovely?
Yes.
Thank you, George Seth, the good man.
Yeah.
The good man. They're all good people, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I pop in other streams for a few minutes, usually stay in yours. K-Max and Jamie's. K-Max, eh? Oh. Remember when he was on mine? And he got all shirty and nasty, and I just said to that, I'm going. I said to that, K-Max. Mia says, that isn't true. He's been in the same area for a week, and if that was true, wouldn't people be eating tarantulas? Don't like them, tarantulas. Unfortunately, it's a myth about eating spiders. Spiders prefer to stay awake from large, noisy creatures like humans, especially while sleeping. Snoring during sleep will scare them away. Say Simon.
That's good to know.
Made up that. So I'll be taking my snoring pills. I'll take my snoring pills before I go to bed tonight, Simon. Simon, it's obviously not true because people were beating the spiders in Australia, which won't even fit in your mouth. You've got to be careful over there of red spiders in Australia. Get your idea, Mrs. Tishy.
Yeah.
So you've got to be very careful. Why did I say that? Must be the worst Australian accent. The red spider can kill you. But you got the worst spiders in Africa. You've got like a wasp spider, it's called. It flies.
No.
It flies, and it can kill you. Now, I don't know whether one spider is called the mambo. It's a snake that's called a mambo, the black mambo, and they're deadly. Whatever it is, whether it's a spider or a snake, deadly if they bite you. Mia, in Thailand, they eat tarantulas with sugar. Are you kidding me? You're finishing now, guys. Why did Spider-Man fail his driving test? He is a terrible parallel parker. It's in Spider-Man fail. I didn't even notice that sound, you know. It's been such a wonderful night. Fried spider is actually a delicacy in Cambodia. I saw a food blogger eat it. Apparently it tastes like a mixture of chicken and cod.
Gosh, not for me.
Mark says, is it true, Frank, that James Newland, built, that's his name, James, not John, built the first enclosed sewer system in the world? Liverpool has people in London disagree. Cannot fucking disagree. See, what you've got to understand, everyone was this. So try and rectify them. Try and rectify them. Every sewage system was built square. And in 1846, Mark, we were suffering from terrible cholera, typhoid, dysentery, scarlet fever, yellow fever, you name everything. And they appointed a fellow by the name of Dr. William Duncan as the very fit in the world, by the way, in the world, the very first senior medical officer about. And he said, can you do something? He went up to see a great engineer by the name of James Newland. And he said, come on, he said, let's go. And he went down into the sewers, right down, as I said. And he went, and he has a look. Obviously, the examiner. So he said, I'll do something. There's no worries. No worries whatsoever. We said, okay, what you do? He said, where it's square at the bottom. He said, there's no use knocking them all down. That's a waste of time. He said, so get the bricklayers, get them in, and round the bottom off like this. Go at the sides and come down and round it off. But we'll put it on a slant. Hence, like that, going down towards the river. So any deposits that went, when the water, through the water system that we also built, came through, the water came rushing down, and the deposits that was there were washed away. Water coming down, washed them away on that slope. And that's what he did. And they were the first in the world. No one had thought of it. James Newland did. And he lived in Abercrombie Square. His house is still standing. And there's a plaque outside. I think I got the plaque. I said, you're going to put a plaque up here for him, for what he did to the medical health of Liverpool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't like flies. They spy on you. They are always making documentaries.
Yeah. Fly on the wall.
And on that wonderful note, why do people eat weird stuff like spiders? Just get a pizza. Eggs right, Mayor. Pizzas. Is right.
Is right.
You want fried spiders and rice. The black mamba, I think, is a snake. Very deadly, and you can die in minutes if not treated. Well, yeah. Yeah, so it must be a snake. I didn't know whether it was a spider or what. Jason's lad, you know Jason's lad, Caleb. He's an entomologist.
That's right, yeah. No.
He's an entomologist. And Mark says, I was in Jamaica on holiday and one of the guides told me that Haile Selassie lived in Loch Lane near Keats Weinberg, and Bob's dad's family are from Anfield. No way. Bob Marley's.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a sea captain.
Did not know that. That's brilliant. Aren't these wonderful, these on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Mia says, Christopher, I think you have had one too many pints. Do you know more people die from black widow bites than rattlesnakes every year? No. Thanks for letting me know about that. I'll look out for I don't see many rattlesnakes, so I'll be looking out for them black spiders. Thanks a lot, Christopher. And the red bird. Night, Frank, Anthony, and great chatters.
Good night, Red
On
Bird.
that wonderful note, these are great, aren't they? Great. So, first hour tomorrow, people, I'll be doing football. The second, I'll be doing some history, along with my great friend there, Anthony Brown. MBE, OBE, Sir Anthony. Knackered.
Yeah.
Really knackered. Thank you, Frank, Anthony, and legends in the chat for your treasure trove of knowledge and commentary. Have a great night, everyone. See you, legends, tomorrow. Aren't that lovely? Thank you.
Cute.
Yo.
Thank you, Johan.
Mia, I wish. And there's the bevies for Mia. Of Christopher. And Mark. Brilliant show. Brilliant show, lads. Good night. God bless. How lovely.
Thank you.
And on that wonderful complimentary note, I'm just going to say, hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow. Thursday tomorrow, isn't it?
Thursday tomorrow, Frank. Yeah.
And on, what else? Friday, I've got the current affairs. But I'll be doing a list of conspiracy theories that we'll be doing in the weeks to come. And the Andorra, I'll be talking about what I think it was George said. Will you do it? So yeah. But that'll be for next week or the week after. Make sure of that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Mia's never drank in her life. I hate alcohol. It's from your mate film anyway, which way? Yeah, Clint, me mate. Yeah, got to go to work now. Bye all.
Oh,
I'll tune in tomorrow's stream, but it'll be it'll be on time. I don't know what are you going to work now? It's supposed to be on the night shift. Toscana. Grazie, buonanotte. Grazie and buonanotte. Great evening. I'll get some coffee in me ready for tomorrow. It's been a long day for me too, and for Anthony. Believe it or not. And Chris, like Frank and Anthony and everyone up the history. It's
good night, Chris.
red. That one. Mia. Yeah, I'm on nights at work as a nurse. Not too bad though. It's chill. I'm not. Mia working as a nurse. I love our NHS and our wonderful nurses and
Absolutely. Me too. Without them, we wouldn't. Yeah.
saved our lives, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Anthony.
Frank, thank you, Mia. You and your colleagues are absolutely exceptional human beings. There's not a trinket or an award that would come close to what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the angels,
Yes.
the living angels that we can see. But they've got no wings because they don't need them.
Yeah.
And Johan says, underrated social servants, nurses, heroes. Yeah, says Johan. Absolutely. And Mia, appreciate both. looking after people in the main is the main aim. Yeah, yeah. As you mentioned before, about money and super chats and all this nonsense. Not me. Never asked a penny off anybody. And I think it's wrong. See, it's just if you take an effort, so you make an effort to comment, it's got to be read out. You don't get paid enough, Mia. Nice. Good night. Have a good shift. If she will, Chris. She will. Christopher, I don't do it for the money. I do it to fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, Mia. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love people like that. They're all brilliant on here. Every fucking single one of them. Excuse the French, but as George Bernard Shaw said, when you swear, it's to emphasize a point. It's to emphasize a point. Could you imagine John Keats or William Blake? And we're saying to them, do us a favour, look what made us. And look what, like our wonderful Toscana. Mia, what you do is fantastic, thank you. And what you said, Anthony, and what I said, about our lives being saved by it.
Absolute.
Could you imagine asking Blake or Keats to write a poem about them?
Yeah.
Wow. What would that be? Like, jeez.
Well, it's our job for next week then to find a couple that come close to what we feel. So our next literature, history of literature, we will have a couple.
Yeah, we will. We will, definitely. And the blog says, hello, Frank and Tom. Just came to bed. Skylar. She likes looking at Sky. Fell asleep watching you. Thanks very much. So it must have been boring. We're in Anglesey on holiday. Oh, enjoy yourself, mate.
Yeah.
Just enjoy yourself, mate. And give my love and Tony's love to little Skylar. Who someone swearing my head off. Oh, Skylar was looking. Oh, sorry. I never really swore, Skylar. I didn't swear. Oh. And you want to say, birds of a feather flock together, and what a wonderful flock we have in this beautiful community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. George Bernard Shaw. Yeah, I know that quote, but couldn't remember it, to be honest. But yes, what a beautiful quote. Back Saturday, and ready for drive along to Wembley, go and bag a loot, if you know where I'm at. Oh yeah, I can't spell it. Oh, don't be worrying about spelling. George Bernard Shaw said it as well. He said, never mind putting quotations and commas, and colons and semicolons and full stops. He said, just say it. And if people have got a brain cell, they'll be able to follow what you're saying.
Yeah.
And on that wonderful note from these wonderful people, Anthony, See you tomorrow, one way or the other.
Thank you, guys. All of you.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yes.
I've just got to say a big thank you to the wonderful Gap Painting Services.
Yeah.
Fully time served, fully insured, fully everything, these lads. They really are wonderful, wonderful people. They've done a job for me, and this is before I didn't even know them, they didn't even know me. And they became my sponsors. Gap Painting Services. Get them in. Do not struggle. If you're a nurse or anything working in the NHS, get them in. Don't struggle. You get a special discount. And if you're elderly, need to say more, you too get a special discount. And that, on that wonderful note about these wonderful people, I'll just say to wonderful Anthony, well, I'm not saying this. Did you know the match is not on IT, it's on TNT Sport? Didn't know that, Sam, until you just informed me. Anyway, Anthony, shall see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
And to all our lovely chat, thank you so much.
Yes.
Really, thank you.
Yeah. And as ever, to our Jason for all the background work.
Jason's son, well, yeah, everything. So good night, everyone. See you vediamo. Ad man. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, Beth.